Hello folks, I'm back with another firearms review, and yesterday I traded in my Smith & Wesson M&P 15 for another firearm that you're looking at right now. Unfortunately, I traded that in because I had problems with my left hand and I injured it some time ago and not able to support the weight up front on that particular rifle. And it's basically my fault because I did put some quad rails in the front, and it made the weight of that firearm give too much pressure on my hand on my support hand. The other thing about that is, too, I could have done some other things like maybe lightened it up or used some other lighter material, but I decided I wanted to have a pistol version of an AR-15. And as you see there's my Daniel Defense AR. I'm in a different location in my house because I needed the space, so I apologize if you see my cat roaming around or making noise. Well, the rifle cannot fit inside its regular box anymore because it has a optic on it, and that's the only negative I have about the Daniel Defense box. Is basically you aren't able to put a optic on there and put it inside the case. It would probably fit a certain size, but not on this particular one. And in this bag you'll see my Daniel Defense firearm. And I'm going to open that up. Bear with me for the shaky camera, unfortunately. I'm sorry about that. And here it is. Hopefully I have it disconnected so I won't embarrass myself on the screen. And I'm doing this one-handed, unfortunately, because I don't have a tripod that can accommodate that. And I've had the bag up there so you can see the size difference and how compact that this firearm could be. And here you go. The brace comes out like this. And I'm going to click it into place, and there it is. This is the Daniel Defense DDM4V7P, meaning P for pistol, and this is the Law Tactical version. The reason why it's called the Law Tactical version, just as you saw, the brace folds. So as you see here, there's the Law Tactical emblem here. They make the swivel mount so you'll be able to open and close the whatever, if you're going to use a brace or a stock. But this is a brace, however, and it is a pistol. The brace here, as you see, is a SB Tactical brace. And SB Tactical are on their products, and then they hook this up with the Law Tactical. Okay, let me give you some particulars about this particular firearm here. It is it's in 5.56, and it has a the muzzle is going to be it's going to be a 1/2 by 28. It has a carbon gas system. Barrel length is 10.3 inches. Weight is 6.17 pounds. The length is going to be 30.5 inches. Now you notice with this brace, and it's fully extended, it's 30.5 inches, but when you close this up, it's down to 20.75 inches when it's folded. What I like about this firearm is its grip is different. It's different from your regular AR-15 grips, because it usually comes on an angle. That's usually your stock mil-spec versions. And it's very comfortable. It's rubberized, and it's kind of have that mold like you have a trick for a pistol, etc. The grip is also connected to the trigger guard here. So this is basically all one piece. This is the polymer portion right here where the grip and that is connected all together. This is a mil-spec trigger. The safety controls on this might draw a negative to AR-15 purists, but the safety mechanism here, this is polymer, believe it or not. This safety is polymer. By the way, this is safety check. I can't just maneuver this around, so I'm trying to save time. So this is polymer, and it is also a ambi safety, because and then there's a smaller polymer safety here. It kind of reminds you of how the CZ Scorpion is, and the CZ Scorpion has ambi controls, but the one good part about this is not going to dig into your finger or anything like this, Even I think that's one of the reasons why they made it a little smaller, but even with this larger one, I don't think there's going to be an issue. It has the standard controls on the side like every other AR-15 with the bolt catch release here. Also, you have your regular magazine release. Your magazine release is pretty much standard, but it's not ambidextrous. The other complaint some purists are going to have is that the I guess you would call that the window or catch to prevent the I'm drawing a blank right now, but this is to prevent it's a dust cover, so it prevents dust from going in or any other debris. This dust cover right here is polymer as well. It does save on weight, but some people might not be happy about it. But my understanding, it is a durable a piece of equipment here. There haven't been any complaints. Some people, if they don't like it, they'll go and buy an aluminum one to replace it. The optic that I have on here is my Burris TRS 32, I believe it is. I think it's TRS 32. I had that on my other Smith & Wesson M&P, and it works just fine. It's made for ARs. It's very tough, and I've seen some torture tests with this, and it came out with flying colors. Another thing I like about this firearm here, the TD mounts are basically come standard. So you'll see one right here because it's on an M-LOK. This is all M-LOK compatible here. You also have the QD mount in the back here, so you can attach whatever slings you want or whatever the case may be, and these are movable QD mounts. Let's see, and there's some more slots that you can use. What I like about the weight of this isn't too bad. It's enough for me to handle without having any straining on my part with my hand and so forth. Now, when you buy this particular firearm, there will be no sights that come with it. You can either order your own sights from Daniel Defense. They do have a nice set of fixed sights, but I ended up buying these particular sights. I'm going to try to find the name of them. I have my notes here. The sights are Magpul M-Bus Pros. This is the front sight here. You could pull that up. And let me go to the rear. I'm sorry about my hand being there. And these make a very good set of backup iron sights, of course, adjustable for close and rear. Like all the other Magpul sights. And the same here. These sights are actually metal sights. These are not plastic or anything like that. So these are very durable sights that are on here. So you would definitely want something that's durable, even though some people like the plastic versions for its ability to be light and so forth. Yes, getting back to the lower portion. The lower here is, it has a flared magwell at the bottom, which everybody's going with the flared magwell, especially when it comes to AR-15s as well as handguns. Like I said, it does have the various QD mounts. The barrel is the barrel is a cold hammer forged with a 1-in-7 twist. Now, the 1-in-7 twist is pretty much like a happy medium for AR-15s. From my understanding, it's good for like if you're using 55 to 65 grade, and especially with this particular firearm, this does not have an adjustable gas block. So with the way with this barrel is, it works in conjunction with that. You don't have any issues with that too much. A lot of people would say, oh, they want an adjustable gas block, but this suits my needs perfectly, because people that use adjustable gas blocks, they're probably using suppressors or some other thing like that. So they want to be able to tune their AR-15s. Speaking of suppressors, it can be used with a suppressor. This is the Daniel Defense's proprietary muzzle here. The muzzle is a decent muzzle. It's similar to the birdcage A2 versions that are out there, but it's a decent muzzle on here. It's good for flash or whatnot. You don't want something too obnoxious to flash around, and that was one of the other concerns about buying an AR pistol, was I was worried about if there was going to be a lot of flash coming from there. I was at the range the other day, and the guy had a different type of muzzle brake on the front, and he was in the stall next to me, and as he was firing, all I could see was like blinding light. So this is able to keep you kind with your neighbors at the range. This is a direct impingement firearm. Like I already said, it was a non-adjustable. It's not adjustable gas block, and it's pinned. I'm going to try to maneuver this around. The buffer tube in here is what they call an H1, but on this particular firearm, it's going to be a little different. So I'm going to have to pause the camera to do this. I can't do this one-handed. Now, hopefully, I could do this. All right, I was trying to show you here on the buffer tube. The buffer tube is on the left, because it's connected right here, and then your brace is connected. Now, your buffer tube is the H1 the H1. But if you notice here where it connects, and behind here would be your bolt carrier. There's this little nub right here, this little nub right here, and you see a warning here, close before firing. You cannot shoot this AR-15 pistol like this, because it would if you attempt to do that with it in this state right here, you'll probably blow the back out. You'll probably probably injure yourself. This here is so you'll be able to open and close the brace with its connection. And to break this down is a little different from any other AR-15. Normally, the average person will break it down the normal way that you would break down an AR-15. But you would have to open this up like this first. And if I can point this little plug right here, this little plug I'm trying to point to. I'm going to see if this little plug here, it has to come out first. You have to twist this out first, then close it up, and then open it up like a regular AR-15, and you have your regular bolt carrier that can be shown. So if you have any, if you have a AR-15 with a stock that folds like that, you might see on some of them with this configuration here, and I suggest you read your manual. So you need to take this out first and then break it down. And you would have to, and when firing this, make sure you put the plug back in, and also you should be putting this brace out like this in its full configuration, so when that bolt carrier cycles back, it goes right into the buffer tube that would basically help the function of the firearm. I mean, it doesn't, the bolt carrier doesn't go all the way back here, but it's more like a cushion and aids in the operation of the firearm, similar to like a piston, and so it will be able to cycle. Shooting this at the range is really fun. Actually, it's really fun. I really thought that the blast would be a problem. I was trying to pick between this firearm versus the Springfield Armory's Saint versions. And the Springfield Armory, at the shop, they had three of them. Two of them with a 7.3-inch barrel, and I wasn't happy with the 7.3-inch barrel because of two reasons. I figured it'd be excess blast that would, you know, AR pistols are going to be loud anyway. But I thought it would be, with too much of a blast and sound, it would be disruptive. So, and plus, it all depends on what type of muzzle brake you put on the front of the barrel as well. So I like this one because it was 10.3 inches. It at least gives you some type of accuracy and how you would be able to shoot this firearm a little bit accurate and with proper maneuverability. It only comes with one magazine. In the magazine, one thing I like about the Daniel Defense magazine here, they're 32 rounders. And you only get one, unfortunately, but 32 round magazines, it's nothing to sneeze at. You notice the bottom. I was wondering why the bottoms were like this, but from what I understand from the salesman and from Daniel Defense's website, is that when these are dropped and they hit the ground, this is it acts like a buffer or something where it will land. It won't damage the magazine. It also does work with PMags. It works very well with PMags. So you can either get the Daniel Defense magazines or you can use the PMags. Now the big question is, how does it shoot? It shoots better than I do. It is a very, very fun firearm to shoot. I was trying to zero in my Optic, and I forgot that to put the flip-up sights on there. So I did have some shots here. This was at a distance of roughly, I would say 15 to 20 yards. So I tried to take some shots and just to zero the sight in. And the sight I was low and right. So I'm just trying to zero in there. And then I try to zero in a little more to get a little closer. I'm still trying to move over. And on the other target, I just had to move it over a little more. And I got it to where basically I wanted to. But I would just pretty much like to take this out shooting again. I did fire some other targets. I was shooting another gun at the time, so I didn't really get too much time with it. But I really like the way this firearm shoots. And the best part about this firearm is how maneuverable and how compact it is. And as you saw in the beginning of the video, you saw me bring it out of a little case that was at least a quarter the size of the Daniel Defense case. So you can put it in something that's discreet like that. And if you have a carry permit, yes, it is considered a pistol, so you can legally carry these, even though I wouldn't do that. But it is what it is. You could do that. It would probably be great for somebody who's in a rural area that they can use this as a truck gun or whatnot. So I love this firearm, and like I said, between the comparisons between the Springfield Armory, Saint, they have their pistol versions, and I actually decided to go with, these are pretty on the expensive side, but I decided to go that route. If I'm going to get something that I want to keep for a very long time, I'd rather have this, spend the money on this, where it has all the accessories that I need on there, such as basically the QD points, the swivel and whatnot. And with my trade, I worked out very well. I got this from Tanner's Hunting and Fishing, or Tanner's Gun Shop. I believe that's the name they go under. And they're out in Jameson, PA. And they really, their customer service, working with you, the guy took the time with me to let me look at both the Springfield and this. And I did not know about the part about with the buffer, how to break it down to clean it. I would have known that until the gentleman over there explained that to me. But I don't know if I mentioned this safety is polymer, but it also comes with additional ones in case you break these or whatnot. My understanding is Daniel Defense has great customer service. And the other thing about Daniel Defense I've found out about, a lot of military contractors and so forth use these. The most famous one is the Mark 18s. So this is sort of almost like a variant of the Mark 18, but this is a different one, and they try to market these to law enforcement. So that's all I have right now on this. Feel free to contact me if you have any questions about this, and happy shooting, folks. #2A.